success has been leaning into Mr. Bean. I was never actually directly sponsored by him at any time. And I'm excited to be personally tied to him and his incredible family as we take this journey with this BYLD network. So we're going to get it popping. We don't want to prolong the hour at all. So we're going to go ahead and get this party started. So we are BYLD. We're here to help you build your mindset, build your business, and build your net worth. It is imperative that our mind is positioned for us to be able to manifest. So this thing is not moving, y'all. Here it goes. All right, I don't have time to play with this computer, so I will talk fast. You have to listen quick to get this information. So we're going to rock and roll with it. With 4 high-ticket verticals in our business, it is imperative for you to understand that we're not only positioning you for success, we position you with options for you to be able to manifest. It's important that you understand when you're in a business, you need to be able to manifest. That means that you need to be able to make moves for yourself and your family. If one stream is not working, you have 3 other streams that you can lean into for success with this business. So why build a business? Because nobody is coming to save you. I will tell you, my husband passed away in 2011. When my husband passed away, my well ran dry because I was so young, 34 years young, with an 8, a 9, and a 12-year-old baby in the house and husband gone. The main source of our income was gone. What I had to do was shift from feeling sorry for myself, being sad about the situation, and go right into the mode to create wealth for myself and my family to sustain our livelihood. And by the grace of God, we've not missed a beat. Why? Because of businesses just like this. All right. So entrepreneurialism, it used to be a should. Now it is a must. It is no longer an option, ladies and gentlemen. Most humans, most people in the nation in which we live, the richest land on the planet, in the nation in which we live, most individuals do not earn 6 figures, you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you know, and I know that you have to generate a significant amount of revenue in order to maintain a actually great lifestyle, just a comfortable lifestyle for yourself and your family. We're not even talking about anything extravagant. We're talking about just the basic comforts. You got to be able to position yourself to do that. And unfortunately, in our nation, most individuals haven't been positioned to do so. So if they're not earning at least 6 figures, then they're going to need some additional revenue stream from somewhere to offset expenses and be able to take care of themselves and a family, especially if you have a family in America right now. It's a debt crisis, layoffs, inflation, higher taxes, higher interest rates. Bankruptcies are at an all-time high. Recession is out of control, and job displacement is quite real. We were just looking at some statistics, one of my partners and myself, who were just looking at some stats as we were looking at opportunities to share this business across the nation. And one thing that we found is that people are being furloughed long term. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? It means that they've been told to go home without telling them a return date. And so we're in the middle of a challenging time in this nation. And with that, people have shifted to what's called the gig economy. The gig economy is things like Uber, Etsy, Airbnb, and Shopify. One of our leaders, Hans, actually put a post up a couple days ago looking at robots who will be taking the place of humanoids in this particular space that we know to be Uber. Now, if you're like me, I got to have a person. I can't talk to a robot. I'm not into the robot ministry. I like a person that's living and breathing. So I'll be in the car with somebody that can live and breathe. But there'll be a lot of people taking a robot for an option. So watch as this economic change happens right before our eyes. You got Etsy, Airbnb, and Shopify. I actually owned a boutique for a substantial amount of time, did quite well with that. And Etsy and Shopify were both my friends, but unfortunately, I had to participate. If I'm working full time, I don't have time to participate in the business as well. So when you do what we're going to teach you on tonight, at some point, you will no longer have to participate. You'll just have to maintain those checks that are coming in and maintain the relationships that you have in place that helped you go from a negative to a huge net worth. The biggest value that we have, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, is people. It's relationships that we've built with other humanoids. So another thing to look at is the opportunity. Listen, one thing that Mr. Bean and I actually talked about when I got ready to become a publisher, he said, listen, you need to look at the actual industry. Is there space for your niche? Is there going to be opportunity for your clientele? Are you going to be able to win in that space? And so I was able to do that. And gratefully, I was able to create a niche. And with Mr. Bean and Mrs. Bean's support, I was able to do several 6 figures with several different clients over an extended period of time. However, even in that industry, we don't see revenue upwards of seven figures like we will see with this particular organization and this incredible business opportunity. Listen, you've got to look out for opportunities that have a big target markets with a low penetration. It's very important for that. Essential goods and services, gas, electricity, and water. Let me ask you a question. If you had a chance right now to have invested in Zoom, if you had a chance right now to have invested in Tesla, if you had a chance to invest in Microsoft, if you had a chance to be an investor in the actual solar industry itself, would you have done it had you known what you know right now? The answer is yes and yes. Amen. I know y'all were saying yes in the chat and in your hands raised up virtually in my mind. Okay. Industries that will thrive in good and bad economies. Listen, if you're doing business, you have to have something that's sustainable no matter what's going on outside of that business. If it's not sustainable outside of that business, then ladies and gentlemen, you have a huge problem on your hands. We have great products like Encore. We have ADT, Brinks. We have Rain H2O. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know anybody that drinks water? I mean, anybody, by a show of hands. Tell me if you know anybody that drinks water. We also have the Smart Money Club. Anybody in your wheelhouse, people that you've met over time, people that are currently in your family, in your community, they need the Smart Money Club. Why? Because it's a teaching tool that will help them to thrive once they actually acquire this revenue that we're talking about. Once they get this money, they got to have somewhere to put it so that they're able to maintain. We want that money to make money. We want your money to make little money babies. So one thing that we have been able to establish is a great foundation with huge commissions, ladies and gentlemen. This is important to understand. Commission is everything. I've worked in the commission space for a long, long time. And it is, if you don't work, guess what? You don't what? Eat. However, in this particular industry, we have something to help you to do that as well, where you don't have to work in order to eat. But Mr. Bean is going to tell you more about that in just a few moments. But $6,000 to $10,000 in revenue are earned off of a transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, a transaction. You don't have no lotions. You don't have any potions. You don't have to sell 15 bottles of this, 12 bottles of that, 10 bottles of that, divided by whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, a transaction can put you and your family in a position to where you no longer have to clock in to any corporation just off one transaction, depending on your lifestyle. There are some people who literally just need this one stream in order to take care of themselves and their family. We also have ADT and Brinks, which will yield you another commission, $500 to $700. Then we have Rain H2O, $1,000 to $2,100. Ladies and gentlemen, for giving people clean, purified water that they can consume in their homes without going to the grocery store and grabbing bottles. We literally do not know how long those bottles have been out. They have a 2-year lifespan, meaning that it could have been sitting in some hot warehouse for 2 years, exposed to extreme sunlight, you name it. So there are so many harmful contaminants, even in the bottled water that we've been told is safe. So Rain H2O will change the game for us when it comes to water filtration systems. This is a fantastic opportunity for you to share with every single person that you see, because we all can agree that every person consumes water at some point during the day. Gotta have it. It's a part of the natural process of the body temple to be hydrated. $1,000 to $2,100 is earned off of that by itself. And then the residual income engine is called the Smart Money Club. So let's talk about our flagship product, which is called solar. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, in this particular slide, you see a home that is clothed with solar. They have panels all over this house. And I just looked at it, Mr. Bean. I started counting the last time we did a presentation. I said, let me count these panels. And I started counting commission when I was counting panels. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's important to understand for every panel you see that you actually help somebody go solar with, that panel is going to produce a revenue stream for yourself and your family. So why get involved in the solar industry? Why? Because size and timing of the opportunity, $130 million in the US right now and counting. 90 million are eligible for solar, but approximately only 5 million have gone solar, which leaves us 85 million opportunities. to tap into a household that does not have solar. Ladies and gentlemen, if you tapped into, just say you did 100 of them, come, somebody do the math, 100 times, okay. Add that up and look at what it could do for you and your family. So why solar for consumers? I'm so glad that you asked that question. You can save up to 50% on your energy costs. Zero down with various financing options. Blackout protection. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I have family here in Texas. I have family back home in Detroit, Michigan. I have family in Florida. I have family in Georgia. I have family all over the place. And the challenges that we face in our nation over the last couple of months with these storms has been absolutely bonkers. And my family in Florida and also in Texas would agree that solar with the blackout protection would have been a huge benefit and a blessing during those very, very difficult and challenging times. The tax credits up to 30%. One of our actual business partners shared with us in the Carolinas, in the South Carolina area, to be more specific, they also have an additional incentive up to 25% more tax credit in that particular market just for going solar. And it's an immediate increase in the home's value. Clean energy, meaning renewable energy. Let me go back. When it comes to the value of the home, I need you to understand something. The reason why the home is going to go up in value, because at some point, once those panels have been paid for, a person has made that investment, they have completely paid off those panels, the energy for that property is now self-sufficient. It's absolutely free, which means that that person no longer rents energy. They actually own the energy. It's going to be important for you to understand that. So if you ever have a rebuttal about it, tell them, hey, listen, the energy is going to be free for me, period. Once I pay my panels, the energy will be free for me. And if it's free for me, then it can be free for you too. And that's a way to overcome an objection when it comes to that. In 2022, somebody went solar every 44 seconds. Now it is 2024, and I am certain that that number has also increased. This is a legitimate business opportunity. You can do this part-time, full-time, fast or slow, however you want to do it. It's virtual sales, just like the space that we're in right now. You'll have the opportunity to share this exciting business with all types of individuals, all over the globe, to get them where they need to be with solar. Simply referring solar customers, and you can earn up to 50% of the commission. You can become a BYLD mentor with us. Mr. Bean is going to share more about that as well. Close sales for other consultants and earn up to 50% of the commission. That goes from a warm lead, ladies and gentlemen, to a hot lead when it comes to lead generation with this company. Once you reach that pinnacle of success, the company will literally give you leads, ladies and gentlemen. Once you earn the right to receive them, you will be able to take care of other individuals inside the organization and then generate that revenue. Half of the commissions will come back to yourself and your household. You don't want to sell solar? That's fine. You can build a team. It's called subs, S-U-B-S, subs, meaning that you introduce others to this opportunity. As you're doing that, the company will send revenue to your household just for you sharing information like you did on tonight to get somebody on this presentation. You don't want to do that? Then that's fine. You can sell water. If you don't want to do that, make sure your family is covered with alarms and security. Ladies and gentlemen, we have so many opportunities for you to be able to generate income for yourself and your family. You can earn commission from the sales that you make. We have a 25-year protection guarantee. Whatever we promise, we will deliver when it comes to the power, when it comes to the production. And if for any reason a client of ours has lost some type of production in power, we will take care of that family and make sure that what we told them actually happens when it comes to what we have promised them by way of power for their solar energy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you see the screen before me. What do we see? Naked roofs. These roofs need clothing. The clothing is called solar panels. Ladies and gentlemen, this just is a glimpse of what we are getting ready to do as far as making certain that these households have been made aware of the importance of renewable energy. Just for sharing, we're going to help those families to go solar. Mr. J.C. Rangel says it so eloquently. A solar presentation is not a presentation. It is indeed an IQ test. In California, we had a customer whose bill was $287 a month before solar. It went down to $148 after solar. The commission was $6,400 between the mentor and the mentee. There was that 50-50 split that we shared with you just a few moments ago, which gave both of them $3,200 in their pockets. Then we went to Florida, a bill of $410 before solar, down to $290 after solar. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, these individuals do not have multiple bills. It's rolled into their solar bill, their solar investment. Let me rephrase that statement. It's rolled into their solar investment. And listen, no matter what the temperature is outside, that bill is not going to fluctuate. That investment is not going to fluctuate. It's going to remain the same. Now, anybody on here can tell you that your bill is not going to be the same. It's depending on the weather. If it's extremely hot, what do? We turn the air down, costs more money. If it's extremely cold, what do? We turn the heat up, costs more money. With solar, your actual investment will remain the same. In this particular instance, the commission was $8,200. The mentor got $4,100. The mentee did the exact same. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that energy is going to go up over time. We got a notification here in Texas where they so eloquently stated that they're going to raise our energy levels as far as a price point is concerned in order to enjoy some electricity in our homes. And if you are anything like me, it's a no thank you, kind sir, kind ma'am. The solar will take care of that, and we'll be locked in at an actual stated rate to where our investment will remain the same every single month. So you lock in that electric investment, no money down, and you're going to also look at those tax credits. And if you're anything like me, the tax credits are a huge blessing. And this young man you see here, he's a dapper young man. You see him suited and booted, arms crossed with his specs on, like myself. Energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history, says the billionaire Warren Buffett, who actually invested in energy as a result of the statement that he made. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. We are in the wave of the future, and it's going to be a fast moving ball. So you got to get on this train and come ride with us. With that being said, I am super excited about this opportunity to have shared this information with you. Mr. Bean is going to come and share the remaining information. Now, I want you to open your ears. I know you heard me talking. I know you heard what I said, but when he shows you these numbers, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to pull out a calculator and start calculating what you need to make sure you and your family are free. He is a multiple seven-figure income earner in many business endeavors that he and his wife have embarked upon. He's a family man. He is a veteran. Salute to the service that he gave to this nation. And he is what I call not only a powerful leader, but he's a purpose leader. People always talk about power couples. I talk about purpose couples. He and his wife are on purpose to reach millions of households with this story on how they can position themselves and their families for freedom for the future. With that being said, I yield this mic over to my esteemed business partner, my coach, strategist, homie, whatever you want to call him. I tell you what, he's a great man with a great heart. So I yield over to Mr. Samuel Bean, our VP of Business Development.
Ooh, I'm gonna take a breath for you. So, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, that was awesome. That was electric, actually. Now, it won't take you long to figure out which one of us is a little bit of country and a little bit of rock and roll. As a matter of fact, coffee is probably a little bit closer to heavy metal, and me a little bit more R&B. But guys, either way you spin it, it's a great opportunity. Like I said, she went over some things today, guys, that a lot of people are extremely excited about. And the cool part about it is we have people who are looking at this opportunity every day, and people who are coming on board in some capacity every day because it doesn't just make sense, it makes money. And when we talk about money, I want to start the same slide that she left off on. We look at Warren Buffett. I have a quote, guys, and I just tell people all the time, I don't take advice from people I wouldn't trade places with. And this is definitely somebody I would trade places with financially, economically. I tell people all the time, if I had a USB opportunity where I can take a USB running from my brain into his brain, I would do a brain dump and get all of the information he has, when it comes to money. Okay. But the thing I like about, him is that he's a person who stands on what he preaches. And so when you look at that quote, energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history, he didn't just say that. He invested $10 billion in that, which means that he's already betting on the come. Okay? And so if you go to Vegas, you'll know what that means, guys. He understands, when it comes to money, he can see into the future, right? He can forecast it. And when you have people who are known around the world as, one of the top earners globally, guys, it's for a reason. Okay? And when people give advice and they're giving it to you for free, you want to take it and utilize it. Now, the biggest challenge with people and human nature is this: anything that you get for free, you take for granted. Okay. And so for him to say that and then do what he did, I'm following, guys. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You can have $10,000, $1,000, whatever, $100, put something in clean energy. Okay. And so with that being said, we're going to talk about the compensation side of the situation. Okay. The company gets, they pay us 7 different ways, and we're not going to go over all 7, but one thing I do want to go over again, and just briefly is, it's just going to be one point of the slide because she did a great job talking about how legitimate the opportunity is. When I first looked at this opportunity, one of the things I saw outside of the earning capacity for myself was the earning capacity for others, the masses. And that's where the rubber meets the road, because when I look at, most opportunities out there, most people can make a 6-figure income or build a 7-figure lifestyle without recruiting. As a person can come to this business fully part-time. I want to make sure I say it again, fully part-time, and make a 6-figure income with no problem. Okay. And that's the thing that I said, you know what? Anybody can do this, and they can do it in a manner that appeases them. Okay. And so with that being said, Robert Kiyosaki talks about, YOE, your own efforts. And I just talked about how you can come in here and have a part-time career, make a 6-figure situation. This is how it happens for starters. Okay. When a person gets started in the sales force that we have here, the company is going to pay 70% of every commission to the person who originates the deal and the person who closes and works the deal. Okay. So I'm going to use this $10,000 example, guys, okay, for the entirety of my set. So please, it's just a round number, okay? So I have people in the group who actually made more than $10,000 on their own half. Like Sarah George made over $14,000 on one of her deals, okay? And so again, I like to under promise, over deliver, but I want to use a round number so you can do the math easily. Okay, 70% of $10,000 is $7,000. So a person who can actually do 3 steps, 3 simple steps, can get the first half of that 7,000, which is 3,500. If you can, one, okay, pique somebody's interest, pick up a phone, knock on a door, hit somebody on social media and pique their interest about solar and give them benefits. That's one. Two, get their bill, okay, especially when they start to ask questions. 3, set up the appointment. Okay, we don't want you to go do a presentation. We don't want you to answer any questions. That's not your job. Your job is just to, 1, pique interest, 2, get the bill, and 3, set the appointment with the actual expert, the engineer. Okay. If you can do that without fail, guys, every time you're successful at doing that, and your partner does a great job at their job, and they close the deal out, that's 3,500 for you in this example. And you can do that as many times as you really want to. Okay. Now, the other half of that equation, the expert, the engineer, the mentor, right? And we call them mentors because while they're doing the presentations, you can actually sit there and watch as the salesperson who originated the deal. Okay. The mentors also spend time with those salespeople before and after the transaction to teach them about the solar process when it comes to, doing the business and doing the presentations. That's why we again call them the mentors. So when they get the appointment, they set the appointment, guys, and what ends up happening is they do a 10-minute presentation, and that 10-minute presentation educates, the consumer. The homeowners need to know what's, going on in their house, anything and everything about, so that they need to know at that moment in time. They need to be educated, and they do that. 2, they're going to go over the layout, the design that they have for them already prepared by AI, with the solar panels placed across their roofs or clothing their roof, like Coffee says, right? And so they're going to see what it looks like. Then they're going to go over the financing. Then they're going to go over the tax credit just to see if they qualify for it or not, right? And they're going to give them all the perks and benefits and answer all the questions. Once that's done, that person is brought to a buying decision, and now you've just earned $3,500, and the expert, the engineer, just earned $3,500 in this example. Guys, that's the process right now. And remember, the mentor didn't bring that deal to the table. The mentor serviced that deal, and the mentor is still on their own efforts. They're still doing their own presentations, right? And they're not recruiting anybody. Remember, this is money that's being made without recruiting. Watch this though. The average person out there who has a part-time job in the United States of America works anywhere between 25 to 30 hours a week. Okay. And they do that knowing that they will only make 25 to $3,000 per month, 2,500 to $3,000 a month. Okay. So you got people who in one transaction, getting one deal, setting one appointment, right, and waiting for it to close, that deal close, you do in less than an hour what it takes a person a whole entire month to do part-time. So now I'm showing you how you can give that time back, that you're taking from your family, from your loved ones, from the things that you enjoy, from your hobbies, from living, period. You're taking all that back based on now you're doing all the work that it takes, to make a $3,500 check normally on a part-time job, you're doing it in one day of phone calls. Okay? And so this is how extremely successful people become extremely successful. They maximize their time. Okay. And so when you look at mentorship, guys, to be a mentor, you do three sales, right, that you bring to the table with the mentor. You help close, but you close five on your own without the mentor. And once that's done, you complete a company certification. Once that's done, guys, we put your name in lights. They add your name to a drop down, and people can now come and willingly click on your name and have you close deals for them. Okay. Now, the more popular you become, the more, let's just say more successful you are, and the more your name travels out there, you have people who will want to use you to help them become a mentor. You have people like Idris Alaka out of New York. You have people like Hans Homey out of Maryland, right? There's a lot of people on here who are doing deals every day, 2, 3, and 4 presentations a day as a mentor because people want to be mentors. So let's say you actually have 4 people that want to be a mentor. You help them close their first 3 deals. That's 12 deals at $3,500 per person after the split. That's $42,000 in commissions per month, right? Do it every month. That's $42,000 per month. That's a $500,000 per year. Okay. So when you look at Zig Ziglar and his quote, where it says, you will get all that you want out of life if you help enough people get what they want. And for me, I really love this quote because, again, it's about service. It's about you putting people first so your family will never be last. And I'm going to show you, transitioning to now the sales force, going away from a person who's working as a career individual, but of someone who's now not just making a ton of money for themselves, but somebody who wants to be the broker. Like if you can imagine a real estate agent that has, real estate broker that has agents, okay, in their office, they're getting paid per transaction. The broker's getting paid per transaction, every transaction that happens. If you look at a mortgage broker, everybody who has a mortgage license that functions in that office, every time they get paid to a transaction, the broker gets paid. Okay. Guys, the founder of the feast is always going to override. They're always going to leverage a sales force, right? This is how you have lifestyle. This is how you have time to spend with the ones that you love, right? And this is also how you make money without actually being there. Okay. So when you look at our way of doing that, we have our team building overrides, our sales force overrides, our broker overrides, if you will. Coming into this company as you'll be let's say a consultant in a situation. A consultant has the ability to not just have a sales career, but you can also invite others to do the same. You can bring people on and have them be a part of your brokerage. And every time one of those people come on board, guys, you make a commission. And every time they come on board, you make a commission, but you also make a commission on every sale that they make. Okay. So let's say I saw Barbie on here, and let's say Barbie recruits me as a salesperson, as a solo pro. I sell a deal, and that $3,000 that was left out of that $10,000 transaction, guys, this is how that works. Okay. Half of that goes to the company. Okay. And then when you look at these percentages, the percentages are paid out of the other half. Right. So her recruiting me making a sale, I'm actually getting paid my 50% of the 70%. Now, Barbie is going to get 20% in this example of the $3,000 that's left over. She's going to get $600. Okay. I sell 5 deals. Guess what? That's $3,000. She brings on coffee as well. Coffee sells 5 deals, guys. Guess what? It goes from being a manager, I'm sorry, from being a consultant to being a manager. Well, now instead of getting 20%, she's getting 30%. So we do 10 deals combined at $3,000 per deal. That's $30,000 multiplied by 30%. That's 9 grand. Where was Barbie? Okay. She was doing whatever she wanted to do and did not have to be there. Okay? And so when you look at, director, 35% frontline, 15% down in depth, executive director, 40% frontline, 20% down in depth. Guys, in this example, if I'm bringing people on, Barbie's going to get paid on every sale that my sales force creates. And if she's an executive director, she's going to be put in a pool, a profit sharing pool, right? Where she's going to split it with the other executive directors. National director, 45%, 20% down in depth. And so there's 5% company-wide pool. And if you're looking at these, how much it takes sales-wise in a 60-day window of time to actually hit these ranks, guys, it's not a lot. We want you to get to the money faster than most other companies out there. When you look at anybody who would consider themselves our competition, which we actually have now, uh, they want to keep you away from these ranks because the longer they keep you away from those ranks, the more money they make off of your people. Okay. We are the exact opposite. Okay. So when you look at, I guess an example here, 10 consultants, you actually having 4 frontline, 6 coming down from Infinity, $6,300 a month. Every month you do that. As you add one deal, okay, that you do both sides of that deal. Because remember, once you actually do the first 3 deals with a mentor, right? At that point in time, even though you're not a mentor, you can still now bring a deal to the table and also you can service that deal as well. Okay. So sample, $7,000 added to the 6,300. That's $13,300. That's about 150 grand a year. It's 3 times the amount of money that a person with a full-time job makes, guys, in North America. Okay, on average. So double it up. Yeah, you do twice as much. Now you're at a director position, and now you're getting 13,000 a month, and you do one deal on your own, guys. That's 20 grand a month. That's $250,000 a year, part-time. Okay. And this is one of the things that from a business evaluation perspective, one thing I do know that the majority of people out there who watch presentations and have conversations about companies and structures like this, they have zero ability to be able to judge a company. Okay. And for me, when I look at companies like this, I look at how much money would it take for me to open up a traditional company of that manner. And then could I get the same, results, the same benefits, if I elected not to go with the brick and mortar, but to stay in the click and order, which is what this is. And I'm just saying, let me share with you the differences, guys. When you look at a traditional solar company, it'll take you anywhere from 150 to $250,000 to get started. First of all, get it off the ground because one, you have to have upfront capital, say 100, 150, $200,000. Then you have a franchise fee. Then you have a royalty fee, right? Then you have all these other things that you have to actually pay for. You have to have in place in order for the company to be successful. And then it takes you probably about anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 a month to sustain it and scale it per month. Guys, the person who invited you here, right? We got this whole entire setup for $200, right? Click and order versus brick and mortar, right? We are now evolving with the times, guys. There are a lot of people out there who they really and truly want to have a brick and mortar business, but they can't afford to. They want to, and a lot of people out there who want to keep the doors of their brick and mortar companies open, but they can't afford to. As I'm gonna just say right now, $200 now and to open up my own brokerage and $100 a month to maintain it and service it, it's a joke. And I'm gonna just say most people because it doesn't cost $150,000, they don't see the value in it. It's crazy how you actually have to extract a large sum of money from someone in a transaction in order for it to be valuable, in order for them to take it serious. And I've made millions of dollars in clicking orders. I made millions of dollars because of systems and three different platforms and three different scenarios, guys. And for me, every time I looked at them, they made sense. Okay. And so here in this situation, I'm just telling you, you want to be your own broker, but you don't want to pay top dollar for it. Okay. How to get started? Real simple. Okay. When it comes to consulting, guys, it's $149 down. Like I said, when you have a real estate brokerage or you have a mortgage brokerage or you have an insurance firm or brokerage, guys, when a person comes and take a desk at your office, they have fees. And those fees are a lot more than $149. Okay. And your monthly is a lot more than $49. As a consultant, you have a career. You can sell as much as you want, and you can also build a sales force, right? Now, as a builder, however, you're talking about the builder is a business builder position in the company. So now you're not just, equipped with the powers of a consultant and the abilities of a consultant. Now you can actually go out there and build a residual income. Okay. And guess what? You also get some major perks and benefits that come along with the business builder plan, right? These are things that are included. Let me share with you, one, what the perks and benefits are, and two, how to actually extract the residual income from this company. Okay. So the Smart Money Club membership is one of the most ingenious memberships out there. A lot of people offer a lot of the same stuff out there, cookie cutter type situations, and they don't have a clue. They're just offering something to create enough value for someone to pay for it. Okay. When you look at, this company here, though, there's vision and there's a purpose, when it comes to what we do and how we do it. And we don't want to be one of those companies that have the intention on paying out $1 billion in revenue, and income, right? We also know that for everybody who we pay $100,000, 250,000, $1 million, if a person's not educated on money, they don't speak the language of economics, at some point in time, they'll lose it. It'll be gone. It'll be here today and gone tomorrow. And you can look at athletes from all around the world, and you can see that as evidence, right? I don't want to call any athletes' names out, but in the NFL, I'll give you an example, after a person exits the NFL, 18 months afterwards, they are broke, right? You look at people who made $100 million contracts in NBA, and after they left the league and that money stopped, they're broke. Okay. Here in this situation, when you make a 6 or 7 figure income, if you're not learning this stuff and you're taking it for granted because you think just because you make money, it's going to stick and stay and it won't go away, you'll be a statistic just like those athletes. We want to make sure you understand what credit, the power of credit repair and credit building does for you. Tax planning, being your own bank. I'm talking about insulating yourself from the I, the R, and the S is important. Okay. But also making sure that you're not preyed upon when it comes to lending institutions and when you have to go out there and do loans and business and having to qualify, showing you how to be your own bank and tax-free retirements, all this good stuff, right? And then on the business side, yeah, that stuff as well. That comes with your business builder membership, guys. That comes with it. The second thing that comes with it is a little funner, right? Now, when you look at the Bill Rewards membership, guys, this is where, again, if you like to shop, eat, or travel, this is for you. 50,000 restaurants for all my foodies. For me, I'm not a big steak guy, but when I want one, I want one. And they have, Texas de Brazil here that they offer discounts there. They have, it's right here on the top of my tip of my tongue. Yeah, a lot of Roof Chris, a lot of different steakhouses, but a lot of different restaurants, period, here. The retailers, when it comes to anything from clothing to, activities. So things that you can do with your kids, your children, amusement parks and everything to shopping for clothes and jewelry, and everything else. 150,000 retailers. Then you have 850,000 travel providers. And for me, I just believe that my creator put me here to see everything that it created, and I plan on doing as much damage as possible. I want to see as much as I can, and I want to see it on a discount. Okay, I literally, since I got started and we started building this company here back in February, myself personally. In March, right after that, when I had access, I went to Vegas, stayed at the Venetian Hotel, saved $28 a night for 5 nights. A couple months ago, a month ago, back in September, went to Los Angeles, stayed at the Hilton LAX, saved $31 a night, 6 nights, right? And went to Cancun about 3 weeks ago. And when we were at Cancun, the result that we had already booked in January before we got started here, we still did a price check because it's our business, is what we offer. And we would have saved $317 on that stay, that weekend stay. So these are perks and benefits that we offer, guys, and more things that are come. But again, just between those two things, guys, it's worth more than what that business builders pack costs as far as interest is concerned. Now, let's talk about the residual income. Okay, when you look at the new wave of billion-dollar businesses that are out there, where you can make multiple 5 figures a month, 6 figures, and things like that, a lot of it is subscription based. Okay, a lot of people are realizing that when you have an audience, when you have subscribers, you have security. Okay, when you look at Netflix, has over 260 million subscribers, and guess what? They got most of y'all during COVID when you didn't have anything to do except for look at your spouse or deal with your kids, right? Netflix and chill is a thing. It became an actual thing. All right. Spotify, 239 million subscriptions, or as Coffee says, subs, right? And then they have 600, but they have 615 million members. But again, members come and they go. Subscribers, what? They stay and they pay. 239 million subscribers. Somebody that I'm quite sure you all are familiar with as well. There's a guy by the name of Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos has over 200 million Amazon Prime subscriptions, right? And for business people who want to be extremely successful, I don't care what you do, make sure that you have an amazing customer service. Walmart, Sam Walton, customers always right. That's why they beat out Kmart and Target and all the rest of these other stores, right? But when you look at, customer service, Amazon Prime is a customer service subscription, right? You get everything from Amazon Prime that you can't get from the actual manufacturer of those products. That's why you pay for the subscription. 200 million subscriptions is what Jeff Bezos has as security, right? As everybody on here can name something that they bought from Amazon. They sell everything. And guess what? Jeff Bezos overrides everything. But for every one of those products that come and go, he still has those subscriptions. And guess what? That number grows every year, which means his security gets more and more secure every year. So we want to put you in that position to where when you start building your subscriber base, guys, when you start bringing people in front of this opportunity, they start coming on board and they say, you know what, we love what you guys have. We're here to stay. We're making money. We love the benefits that come with it. As you'll have people who, again, an extra $500 a month residually without working for it, clocking in, clocking out. People like Angel Trend, who's at Builder 1000 right now. And think about this for a second. She was at Builder 1000 4 months after she came on board. So she's making $12,000 a year residually, and after just 4 months of doing business. Some of you guys have been with the company for 10, 15, 20 years, and you don't have $1,000 residual income check coming in. You have to clock in and clock out for every dollar that you make. Okay. This month, Angel will be at Builder 2000, $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year income, residual income on top of everything else that her Salesforce sells. So imagine you have a $3,000 mortgage and $1,000 car note, and you get the Builder 4000. And on the 5th of every month, you wake up knowing that my career money, yeah, when I'm at that 10, 15,000, $20,000 a month that I make on my job, I don't actually have to pay my mortgage with because I have $4,000 a month coming in as a Builder 4000. Okay. And all I had to do was introduce some people to the company and they can come in and sell whatever they want to sell. It doesn't matter. But because they are a member of the company as a builder, I get a residual income attached to it. Guys, I'm just saying all the way down to $250,000 a month, which is my own personal goal over the next 18 months to 24 months, is you can have it big, you can have it small, you can have it all. Whatever it is that you want to earn is here for you to earn if you're willing to earn it. Okay. So wrapping this thing up and putting a bow on it, uh, getting started again, I'm going to go back to the way that everybody to get started at or everybody wants to work up to. That's the business builder pack. Okay. You see everything that you get there, everything we talked about, and the opportunity to sell those things as far as solar, commercial and residential, Brinks, ADT, and soon to come Ripple, and Arain H2O alkaline water, and our smart money program. Guys, you get all of that for pennies on the dollar. Some of you guys this weekend, you're going to spend $200 on something that's not going to give you a return on your investment. Okay, and so I welcome you to our family, our BYLD family. I welcome you to the first day to what can be the rest of the best days of the rest of your life. So get back with the person who invited you out. Make sure that you, one, tell them thank you, regardless of what you do, whether you get started or not. One, tell them thank you. Two, let them know how you want to participate. Okay, and three, set your game plan up. Make sure that you don't get off that call without inking a game plan date for how you're going to go out there and hit that goal. So on behalf of my partner, Coffee Brown, and myself and the BYLD family, we appreciate you guys for showing up. We don't take that for granted. Okay. You could have been anywhere, but here with us. And but now we want to make sure that you stay with us now that you're here. So see you guys at the top, see you guys at the bank, and see you guys at the beach. And we'll talk soon. And at the top of the hour, guys, for those of you who speak Spanish, we actually have a Spanish presentation at the top of the hour at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. So take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Recording